Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to be back in the A320, and I thought what I'd do today is show you guys a bunch of the new features that are available in the MCDU provided by the flybywire team for the A32NX Mod. It's got a bunch of really neat features, different settings and configurations, and things that really help out a lot and reduce a lot of the workload for the simulation. So let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit and I'll show you guys some of those. Alright, so we're in the seat here, so let's go ahead and get some power onto the aircraft here. And we're just going to be looking at the MCDU today, so we can just come on down here. First thing we'll do is clear that. So the first thing we'll do is go through some of the options. These are different configurations that you're able to set for the aircraft by default. And these option changes are saved. So even when you close the simulator out and you fly the A320 a week later, these options will still be configured the way you had them last. So we're going to go to options. And first we're going to start with AOC, which is Airline Operational Control, I believe. I'm just going to come in here and actually back up. Let's start with realism first. It's actually a better way. The DMC self-test. Alright, sorry about that little pause there. I had FedEx at the door and dropped off something that for VR that I will be showcasing to you guys in the next day or so, that I think will be really exciting if it works the way I think it will, so stand by for that. Anyway, getting into our options, we have the DMC self-test. It's just a 15-second test, and you can change the time. Simply edit it to whatever you'd like. I don't mind leaving it at the default. The big one here is the alignment time. So going to alignment time, you can set to realistic, fast, or instant. I'm not sure what the fast reduction is. I don't know if it's like 50% or what it is. Realistic is going to be, that time is going to change based on your location on the globe. But it could be anywhere from 8 minutes to 10 minutes, etc. I hate waiting for alignment in any simulator that I'm in, so I always set it to instant. One of those live in the real thing items that I can do without. I'm just impatient like that. So let's go ahead and go to return, and go to return again. Alright, so now let's go into Airline Operational Control here. And we have a bunch of different options here. So starting with free text. Coming over to free text, it's important to read this. Enables free text in live map. If enabled, aircraft position data will be published for the duration of the flight. Messages are public and not moderated. Use at your own risk. So it's just a chat and provides aircraft position for anyone else who happens to be using this on the net, is my understanding. You can chat with each other, but again, it's not moderated, meaning somebody can say whatever they want and no penalties. So keep that in mind. Especially if you have little ones or younger ones on the simulator. But anyway, so you confirm to enable it. I'm gonna go ahead and come back here. Up at the top here we have an ATIS source. We can actually request ATIS directly from the MCDU. Now I have not been able to make this work yet, and I think it's just a matter of the integration probably isn't complete yet. I've tried FAA, VATSIM, Pilot Edge, IVAO, and I always get the same response with no message available. But we'll go ahead and select VATSIM for now, and we'll test it out today, see if it's working. But this is the source of where you're getting the ATIS information. So if you're someone who flies on Pilot Edge, you're probably going to want to use Pilot Edge. If you're someone who flies on VATSIM, you want to use VATSIM, etc. Okay. Excuse me. Let's go back to return, and then your MEDAR source, your meteorological information. They have a bunch of different options here again. MeteoBlue is the same server that the Microsoft Flight Simulator uses. However, it's down a lot, I'm not going to lie. AV weather, I'm not sure what this is. I've never heard of it before. But it says Unreal Weather, so I'm guessing it just makes something up. And then again, you have Pilot Edge, IVAO, and VATSIM. VATSIM I found the most success with. Pilot Edge, I don't think I've made this one work, and if I did, maybe once or twice. And then I'm not going to worry about anything else yet. So our source for TAF is your NOAA. So again, this is more of your weather information. You have your NOAA and IVAO. But I'm not going to worry about that right now because I don't really fly over the water a whole lot. But let's go ahead now and come down to SimBrief. And all you have to do is put in your username. So I have SimBrief up here. I'll show you guys. Whatever name populates right here, okay, that's what you want to type in here. You don't have to put anything in user ID. So you just type out your username, thunk it up here under username, and boom, you're done. Okay? And the cool thing about this is like, for example, if this is the last flight that I used, all right, you guys could type in Overkill Productions here, and you're going to get the last flight that I used with SimBrief. So, you know, you can actually share it with a friend or something like that. You want your buddy to fly the same flight plan that you've already created. Simply just give him your user ID or username, and he could jump in there. So let's go ahead and do return now. And return again. So that's the options that I want to show you guys. If we come in here to SIDS, you can change the passenger signs from either no smoking to no portable devices. I like to leave it on no portable devices. And then FMGC. This one's a cool one. So starting up here at the right, you have your thrust reduction and acceleration altitude. So it looks like acceleration is the only one that's currently available to edit. This is the altitude above ground level at which the aircraft will pitch down and begin accelerating up to the climb speed. Okay, so once it does that, then the aircraft pitches back up, and you know that's when we do our climb out. And my understanding is pretty much everybody in the U.S. uses 1,500 feet, which is why that's the default. You know, I know that can change. If you want that to be a different altitude, you can set that to whatever you'd like, and off it goes. Your barometric pressure, okay, so by default, I have it set in inches, but you can have it set to auto, which my understanding is it will change based on where you are on the globe, or you can have it set to heptopascals. And again, it remembers all of these settings each time that you load the sim, so you only have to set it once. All right, and then to make life easy, they have added the ability to change the unit measurement, or the weight measurement units. Gosh, I can't talk today. And I think I've already said that. We switch from pounds to kilograms. Now, normally I had it on kilograms. The guide is set for kilograms, the A320 guide that I published. But because of the inability to use the kilograms feature in the sim, I switch it to pounds because now there's no conversion required. Now I can set SimBrief to pounds. That's why I was dragging this over here. And the sim is in pounds. Boom, done. I don't have to worry about anything. Okay, the aircraft's in pounds. The simulator's weights and balances are in pounds, and SimBrief is in pounds. So it makes that a heck of a lot easier. So for today, we're going to keep it on pounds. And that's really it for the options menu that I wanted to show you. So now let's show you guys some of this stuff in action. So the first thing that I'm going to do is we have a flight plan created in SimBrief. Okay, so I just threw something together real quick. It's still Tucson to Los Angeles for the sake of, you know, using the guide. But I'm going to match these figures up with exactly what the flight plan is for the guide. And again, that guide should be updated in a new release out today. So let's go ahead and show you guys how this all works. So all I've done is created it. I hit generate OFP and I've stopped here. Okay. So now the first thing I'm going to do is add in I'm going to go to Flight Management Computer. I'm going to go to the initialization page. And I'm going to go to initialization request here. And boom. KTUS to KLAX. There's our flight number, our alternate, the cost index, and we can match all this up. So if I scroll down here, cost index of 5, KTUS to KLAX, our flight number, American Airlines 4312, our alternate, okay? So now, an AOC Act flight plan uplink, that means the flight plan has been entered as well. Uplink insert in progress. So we can go to flight plan, and you can see there's our flight plan. Now, the only thing that's missing from our flight plan is the departures and arrival, and that makes sense. That's legit. And it's because you can you can make your flight plan based on the hope of a specific departure or arrival, but ultimately the ending decision of how you get in and out of an airport, you know, still and always will lie with air traffic control. You know, so I can request the Wildcat departure. That doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get it. Okay, especially given the fact that winds change, so the runways change, etc., etc. All right, but what's really handy here is from here, now to do our departure, we're going to do departure. We are doing, set it for 29 right. We're going to do the Wildcat 3 departure. GBN as the transition for the Gila bend. Hit insert. Come down to LAX. Let's assume that we're going to get 2.5 left as we want. And we're going to come in on the Hollywood 1 using the Sivu via from the east wind transition. And we have just entered our flight plan. We're done. It's over. Okay? So pretty cool stuff. And then if we want, what we can do for the performance pages, actually let's go to the initialization page. Okay, so you can see our zero fuel weight and block fuel aren't set yet. So let's go ahead and go to the MCDU menu. And let's go to aids. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. ATSU. AOC menu. Performance weights and balances. And you can see everything's already there. 8919, 440, 3952. So where they're getting that from, our block fuel 8990 or 19, our trip fuel 3952, our taxi 440. Okay, so all that information's already set. You just hit refuel to load. There's our fuel. Okay, well as map, that's minus our taxi if I remember correctly. So it's off a little bit. Even if it is off a little bit, that's still not bad. And you can hit your OFP request send if you want again, and it would update this information if it changed. So let's go to AOC again. All right. Now before we leave this menu, the next thing we're going to need is we're going to know our altimeter. All right. Oh, didn't mean to click that, but you can do the same thing here. So you can see the initialization review, American Airlines, our departure, our arrival field, estimated time of arrival, 1 hour and 10 minutes. And again, you can request the data information if you need to update this page. So this is really slick. And then coming down here to weather request. So here's our METAR information. You can see that because we uploaded the flight plan, we got KTUS and KLAX already there. So now all we have to do is hit send. And this takes, like I said, about 30 seconds or so before you actually get a message back. 15, 20 seconds. Now you can click in here. And I believe this screen will not update, so you'll have to back out and refresh. But we'll leave it here for a minute. Talk about the wind in the sky and the birds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't update. So what we'll do here, go to return, come back into it, and now we have a message. And click on that, and look what we got. KTUS weather, variable winds 3 knots, visibility 10, skies are clear, temperature 11, dew point 3, altimeter 3005. So the only thing we don't get is the ATIS information. That we would need is the departure and arrival runways. Okay, but another neat feature. Come down to ATIS. Now this is the one I was telling you guys earlier when we were looking at the configuration. I haven't figured out how it doesn't work yet, but the feature itself is working. And what I mean by that, so let's go to KTUS, set it as our departure, and hit send. And again, same thing, gotta wait a minute. So we can come in here, but it's not gonna be there yet. And you can see it shows viewed. So we'll back out. And now we have ATIS. Now this is the drag. We don't get anything available yet. But keep checking this, because I'm sure this will soon change. And maybe I'm missing a step. Maybe I misread something, because let's check one more thing. Let's just try switching this. And I'll hit send again. Oh, nope. Hang on a second. Well, we'll throw a couple of them out there, I guess. Ooh, format for MCDU. Hold on a second. Alright, and now we'll come back. So we tried a couple different things there. We'll see what they all look like. I didn't know that MCDU format was there. Guilty as charged. Alright, so we got quite a few here. So let's check this first one. Yep, nothing available. Nothing available. and not available. Okay, so yeah, the ATIS isn't quite working yet, but the functionality is clearly there. It's clearly showing that there's intent for that to be there, so keep checking that. So let's back out. Again, ATIS we just looked at. So performance, weights, and balances we've checked. Okay. So again, all really cool stuff here that's going to save you a ton of time running through this. Now, ATC menu, we can request either direct to waypoint, a flight altitude, or a specific speed. We can say due to weather or due to aircraft performance. And ATC should respond with a message letting us know whether or not that's approved. And you can see notification, okay, the ATC center that you would be talking to. So let's try this for a second. I'm just curious. I haven't ever actually had to use it, so that's who we're wanting to notify. Check the connection status, active ATC. Oh, it looks like it's not quite implemented yet. That's okay. Let's go to return. Let's do a request. And let's see if we wanted flight level 180. Oh, yeah, and it puts it in speed. Okay, so work in progress, but again, that's how this would work. You could, again, select your waypoint, altitude, or speed, and then you would tell them why, and they could send you a message back. So these are all things that are you know, obviously a work in progress. This is technically a beta version of the simulator or of the aircraft. But I wanted to show you guys a few of these because they're a major help in your flight. So avionics status, if you wanted to look at that. Interesting. And then if we want to go to performance now, so we did our initialization, sorry, we want to go initialization B. We can hit that. Fuel planning. Block fuel confirmed. Although 7.3, that's not right. So our block fuel looks like we still have to enter here because that's not correct. So we need, and we're just going to type 8.7. There we go. Let it do its calculations. Go to our performance pages now. Flaps 1. We'll use toga for takeoff if we were going to take off today. Select our V1 speed, V2 speed, V2 there. Cool. And boom. Our aircraft is done and ready to fly. So real quick, to show you guys some of the advantages here, I'm going to do a full start of the aircraft to show you guys how quickly using some of these integrated systems can help you. All right, so let's jump right into that. All right, so real quick, here we are with the cold and dark aircraft, and I'm just going to zip through it, guys, and show you how it's all done. I'll try to talk us through as much as I can, but the idea is to show you how fast these tools can help you sort of accelerate the process. Come on. Thank you. Gotta set those lights first. All of our displays. I wish we could set a default brightness for the configuration for the brightness. Alright, so all we're gonna do is get rolling here. Alright. Moving on to performance. Flaps going for takeoff. We're not going to worry about the flex temp. We're just going to do toga. .3005 on the altimeter. Alright, we wait for the APU to start and switch it over to APU bleed and we're ready for pushback. So, big reduction in workload on our part. I think you guys really should practice messing around with these. These are a lot of fun, and I think it's only going to get better and better. So anyway, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments based on anything you've seen here today, by all means, let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.